Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your brother in the struggle coming right back at you once again to help you understand and make sense of all the madness, of all the ridiculousness, of all the craziness going in this topsy-turvy world that we happen to find ourselves in. But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there is light at the end of the tunnel for the human race. Now, before I begin this video, let me ask you, as I always ask, are you ready for the truth? Can you handle the truth? Will you remain living in denial of what is happening right in front of your eyes? Ladies and gentlemen, this whole world have been worked, have been conditioned, have been programmed to give in. And that is exactly what has been happening. And it's only gonna get worse, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Okay, so today is the paradigms of nations, ladies and gentlemen. The paradigm of nations have always been at work since the dawn of the human creation upon this planet. Okay? So, first of all, a paradigm is a paradigm of it's a paradigm as of the functions of a process and interrelationships or process under study. Okay? So, the paradigms of the nations in politics, the paradigms of politics, the paradigms of the entertainment industry, the paradigm of the medicine, the scientific community, the paradigm of our educational system, the paradigm of our financial system. So, ladies and gentlemen, the paradigms are used the very purpose of creating paradigm is to control, manipulate, condition, and totally program any given society through a human history under any empire. And it was first introduced to our first parents upon this earth, Adam and Eve, which in fact was the first paradigm in practice. Because that's where the human separation began. The first human separation began. The earthly family was created by his maker, by the creator, Asha Ahaya in Hebrew, which in English means I am. That is God's name. That's the name that he gave to Moses. So we were created in his image. And you got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, God is not just some guy up in the sky, in heaven, in paradise. God is a family composed of male and female. The earthly family, we human beings, our first parents upon this earth, were was the mirror image of the family God. Okay, besides the angels, of course. But we were created to be angels upon this earth because the very purpose of life was so that God can reproduce himself through us. We are the only creation on this earth. And actually in all of our creation, whether in the spiritual realm and the like, we are the only creation that was created in his image. In fact, if we go to Genesis first, chapter first, Genesis chapter, Genesis first, and verse 28, and said, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. So you understand? Now, you want proof that God is a family? Go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And God said, let us, plural, more than one, let us make men in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So, the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, I don't come here to make this, to tell you these videos based upon my opinion, based upon my interpretation, based upon what I think. This is not about opinions or think. I just talk about reality. That's why I always ask, are you ready for the truth? Can you handle the truth? Because what I talk about is truth, is reality. Now you may say, well, Ruben, I see it a different way. Well, then you're not living in reality. Because what I talk about, what I cover here, comes out of this great book, the Holy Bible, which is the instructional book left for humanity. Now, let us continue, because I want to make this video as quickly as I can. So, ladies and gentlemen, when, in fact, I want to get ready. Let us get ready. Let us go to Genesis chapter 3. Okay, let us wait there. But let me just tell you one thing. The paradigm in human relationship, it is sad. See, when woman became, in fact, look what it says here. Chapter 3, Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and also gave unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Now listen to me. Verse 7. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. Ladies and gentlemen, the paradigm of human relationship goes like this. I mean, after sin, of course. When the woman was seduced, when the woman was touched by the devil, then there was the first paradigm. Because man was created, the first human created on this earth was Adam. a man. Eve was created in the image of who? Of Adam. The devil, being that he was thrown out of paradise, being the most stupidest thing and the most ridiculous thing that you can think of, because he had everything in heaven, but yet wanted all. Well, instead of getting it all, he has been living a sorry-ass existence in the spiritual realm. So, what does he do to bring excitement to his life? To deceive humanity, which he did. And we are all sinners, and we have always died. So a new paradigm in our existence began. We started to die. Because the wages of sin is death. Okay, so now the minute the woman was touched by the devil, ladies and gentlemen, then a new paradigm began. The woman was automatically, she was the first cursed. Human creation. She was cursed. And she's been living under this curse. And men do not understand women. In fact, remember that old saying? Can't live with them, can't live without them. And you know why? Because man does not understand their ladies, their women, their wives. And if we go to Genesis chapter 2 and verse 18, here's what it says. And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him and help meet for him. So ladies and gentlemen, it is clearly the purpose of a woman is to help her man. But because of the paradigm of sin, the new paradigm that was created, the paradigm of the curse of dying now, man does not stop to think and understand the woman. There's the difference between man and woman. Not just on a design, not just on the makeup, on the no, ladies and gentlemen. Because remember, man is the seed, woman is the soil, the ground, the earth, Mother Nature. Remember? Okay. So ever since then, that very first paradigm, man and woman have been at war. Because men do not understand their woman. See, let me just tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, and don't ever forget this. Unless God, unless the Creator is the center of any human relationship, that relationship, especially between a woman and a man, it is bound to be destroyed. Because the very purpose of a family was an idea that came straight from heaven. And when you don't give its proper place in a household to God, then you are doomed to fail. Okay? And hence, now you see why the family has been totally destroyed, it has been easy. It's easy. And then on top of it, you have that's like the cherry on top here. You got movement like the feminist movement, which is synonym of Satanism. And then you got Black Lives Matter, ladies and gentlemen, whom the co-founders, one of the co-founders said that they are trained Marxists, which is again another word for Marxism, Satanism. It's all about death. So the very foundation of humans upon this earth, when we were first created, we not only just sinned against God, we were different. Okay? Even when we were living in perfection, there are certain roles that each had. Man had its proper place, and so the woman. So being the man didn't understand woman, that's why the feminist movement came to be, which made the situation even worse. It was like a competition now was going on between man and woman on steroids, ladies and gentlemen. And please don't stop me up in the feminization of the man, okay, which helps destroy, which have contributed to destroy the family. Family, ladies and gentlemen, is the fabric of any society. Once the family is gone, you don't have any more society. Let me give you an example. In America, there are no family. And they deceive you so easy. They make you believe in an American dream. And they're telling you there, when they tell you about the American dream, that is exactly what it is. It's a dream. It never existed. Ladies and gentlemen, please wake up. And government is lost when it comes to these social problems. Instead of helping, okay, they exacerbate the situation. They make it worse. And I'm going to give you some example of it, okay? So once human creation disobeyed its creator, God, it turned into something so different that they began to hate themselves and began to hurt himself and not understanding each other. Okay? The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, that the world leaders of this last human generation really make me laugh. Make the few of us that are awake and laugh. Because the reality is that they talk about an elusive new world order in front of your lying eyes. But they know very well that empires after empires, human civilizations after human civilizations, generations after generations, human beings have always followed each other's footsteps. And because of this, we can clearly see this clown's puppet, drunken in power, that the new order will not work. it would fare miserably, and they would be destroyed by their creator. And they know it. And somebody asked me the other day, Ruben, what about the UFO sighting? Okay, all the signs. Well, you kind of late, because this thing has always, these demons, fallen angels, because that's what they are. There's no such things as UFO. You're late to the game, because they have always been here. Okay, the first UFO that you may call UFO was introduced himself to our first mother Eve. Ladies and gentlemen, please. The same thing that is happening in Ukraine right now. There is an agenda. There is a plan. A Luciferian plan. With all this Ukrainian paradigm, with this war, and all of the wars in the past. Remember what I said to you in the past. I have said it before. Satan and the earthly governments of this earth, including, yes, Russia, they will declare war, attack the Son of Man, Christ, when he comes back to earth with all his power and all his angels. That only with his words he will destroy all these miserable clowns forever. So ladies and gentlemen, why am I talking about this? Well, because of we have, it is so obvious, ladies and gentlemen, what is happening. It is so obvious. And this is what they're making it so obvious, so that you don't see it. When they don't want you to see something, they put it right in front of your eyes. Let me just tell you what it is. Remember the civil rights movement with Martin Luther King? You know that was a farce, right? You know Martin King was used, right? Because there was a civil war was about to break out in the United States. It was not under what other people will call the elite's interest. I call them the devil's disciples. It was not in their interest. So that's why they brought up Brother Martin Luther King. After they used him, they killed him. It is the very essence and nature of the devil himself. That's one example. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, just like Karl Marx said it, religion is the what? Religion is the opium of the people. It appeases the people. It calms them down. And God's people, our people, went along with our lives. Now, it doesn't stop there. Because remember what I said in the past. Once the devil gets you, he will not let you go. Remember, he doesn't let any crisis go to waste. So now, you got the women's rights movement started right along, which to destroy the family. the feminist movement. Then you got the Black Panther Party, which was obviously infiltrated by the CIA and the FBI and completely destroyed and took over that organization. Then you had, what is it, Karl Marx. They killed him. Then as years went by, you have the LGBTQ, the lesbian, the homosexual and lesbian organization. They threw them in the same pot to corrupt the whole concept, because it was conspired from the beginning. Then you had the legalization of drugs. So ladies and gentlemen, in the 244 that the United States been independent of nothing, because the United States is the devil's corporation called, it is considered the modern Babylon system. She is the second beast mentioned in chapter 13, starting on verse 11 in Revelation chapter 13. But anyway, let's keep going. So here's how governments always use paradigm. They make you believe that your votes count. Right? When in reality, even Teddy Roosevelt said it himself, presidents are not voted in. They are not elected. They are selected. They control all. Listen to me. They control. The devil's disciples in America in particular control all of the media. Yes, including Fox, you name it. They control it all. Through what? Money and propaganda. Okay? That's all it comes down to. Okay? Now remember what I said, what happened in 1913. The Federalist America was robbed because she was destined to be robbed and exploited, so that she will come to a debt, a national debt over $31 trillion, ladies and gentlemen. Approaching $31 trillion. A debt that the people that lend her the money, which is an association of bank which is out of what the Federal Reserve is made of. The Federal Reserve has nothing to do with the government. Okay, that was created back in 1913, December 31st, taking advantage of people celebrating their pagan holidays. You see how America has always been worked? In fact, the first president of the United States, I mean, not in reality, was to them in the history books was George Washington. But that's a lie, because there were 16 presidents before him. The reason he was considered the first president of the United States is because he was the first Freemasons. Freemasons, ladies and gentlemen, are fancy names for Satan's organization controlling not just America. They want to control the whole world. Those are the ones pushing for the New World Order. You got a bunch of old men, new devils, but old men. talking about a new world order. How ridiculous, how ironic is that? Anyway, I digress. Let me keep going. So they make you think that your vote counts. And and then they got these names. The left are for the Democrats, the right are for the Republicans. When in reality, they are all the same. That's what you call the paradigm of politics. Your vote don't count. You have been worked. Don't believe me? Well, look what we got now. Joe Biden dementia. We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to understand world history. You need to understand, okay, you need to realize before it is too late, the purpose of life. You need to understand who the real enemy is. It's not Vladimir Putin. It's not Joe Biden. Joe Biden doesn't even know where he's at sometimes. Okay? It's not the European nations. It's the demons that move, that works behind them. Back in 1991, okay, George Bush Sr. talked about a new world order. 11 years later, 9/11 happened. Now you got Joe Dementia Biden talking about new world order. I'm going to send you the links. Do not forget the links. It is ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. So, being that family is the basis, is the fabric, is the foundation of any society, we got to cut the crap and respect and help one another as we move forward in God's real agenda for his creation, okay? But in order to do that, man and woman, husband and wife must follow these 10 commandments and must follow the laws in this book and live the Bible. One of the things that I suggest that I really push for is the spiritual diet, which is right there in Leviticus. That's not for Old Testament. Old Testament was the foundation for the New Testament. Ladies and gentlemen, get it straight. Do not get it twisted. All nations have been worked, all governments, all empires throughout human history have been worked by the demons. Don't believe me? Well, how come they have always worshipped false and pagan gods? Like the Greek, Zeus, just to mention one, Apollo, and then in the Roman Empire, Jupiter, Minerva. The god of time, Janus. In the Persian Empire, Ahura Ari, Mazda. In the Babylon Empire, the Baal. Ladies and gentlemen, God is gonna. The day of reckoning is upon us. Is right upon us. I'm gonna prove to you that the new world order will be a disaster for the human race. Why? I mean, look at the people that are talking about it. A bunch of old men who got so many demons in them that they sound so ridiculous. I mean, look at, I'm gonna show you Joe Biden. This man talking about a new world order. He has always talked about that. You got Pope talking about new world order. You got a they show it to you on the dollar bill. Witchcrafters, sorceries. Okay? That's what witch doctors. That's what this world worships. Don't believe me? All right. Let us go to Isaiah chapter 14. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12 says the following. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. 14. I will ascend above the height of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Verse 15. Yet thou should be brought down to hell. Down to hell, to the size of the pit. So, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that this whole world is being run by a bunch of dying old men should tell you something. I know you got a couple of young ones in France, Macron, you got Justin Trudeau in Canada, but for the most part, you got a bunch of people calling for a new world order. There's no such thing as a new world order. How can something be a new world order if the same, even worse, humanity is the one pushing for that? So let me just tell you one thing before I reach the last verse and then I'm done. So the way government works is this way. Because remember, they are the mirror face. Governments, empires, human civilization have been the spitting image of the devil, of the spirit, of the fallen angel whom they worship. Here's what they do. They tell humanity, you can be gay, to men, and to ladies, you can be lesbians. Good. We protect you. We got your back. We protect your rights. Hear me out. To women, the government tells them, we got your back. You can abort your baby. You can actually kill your baby. Come to our hospitals. Heck, through the Hippocratic oath to the pagan gods, we're going to do human sacrifice. By the way, Bill Gates' father was one of the founders of Planned Parenthood, whose main goal is to kill baby in God's people community all over the world. And how they set the stage up, you got drugs in the community, you got liquor store in the community, so women can give themselves up easy, become pregnant. Oh, I don't want this baby. Or maybe they're raped or whatever. Then they go to the devil's clinics, Planned Parenthood, open up their legs, or maybe drink the pills. What is it? The day after small pills, something like that. Boom! The perfect assassin. They killed the baby in the womb. And then the partial birth abortion. Ladies and gentlemen, we humanity have become an insult to life itself, an assault on life and the very essence of life. Do you think God would be a little upset with humanity? And you get God a little upset, you wish that you will make him humongously upset. Because a little upset means total destruction. So, again, let me repeat it to you. We legalize drugs in the United States, like marijuana, abortion, legalize gays' right and lesbian right, transgender right, like the man that won the swimming contest, that he broke the records. There was a contest going on, a swimming thing. Ladies and gentlemen, he won. Of course, because he's a man. He left this woman in the dust. And that's what they call equality, ladies and gentlemen. This is what they call inclusion, equality. You see what's happening? By making people feel comfortable with their abominable behavior and personality, they feed the evil spirit that's in them so they can control them. You appease this demon, they be happy with you. You understand? It is time to wake the hell up, ladies and gentlemen. What is happening in Ukraine right now is nothing more and nothing less than the Ukrainian people being sacrificed to the demons, just like 9/11, as I have previously stated. Just like 9/11, okay? It is a means to an end. That's how this whole matrix system works. And please do not be afraid of a third world, a world war. No, that's not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, it's not in the demons, in the devil's interest to make that happen. You understand? Okay? And besides, God is not going to let that happen anyway. In fact, look what it says before moving to the next one, to the next last verse. Let us go to Matthew 24 again. Matthew 24, verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. You understand? In other words, if a World War III breaks out, not even the mice, not even the roaches, no live organism, I don't care how strong your bunkers are, you will not survive. And even if you do, what are you coming now to? I totally destroy humanity. You will not survive. Because the radiation alone will last for years and it will kill you. So, ladies and gentlemen, going back to how I started this video, the foundation, the fabric of every society is the family. But women have allowed themselves to become what? To become fake. Here's what God has to say about that. So woman goes through a lot of changes, ladies and gentlemen. A woman goes through a lot because she's part of the curse. Okay? In fact, Here's what it says here. Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Here's what God himself said to the woman, our first mother. And to the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire should be to thy husband, and he should rule over thee. But, yeah, a man should rule over the woman because she is the weaker vessel, of course. But here's what God is saying, all right? First Peter chapter 3. First Peter chapter 3, verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversion of their wives. Number 2, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear. Verse 3, whose adorning let it not be the outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold or of putting on of apparel. 4, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God of great peace. Verse 5, for after this manner in the old time the holy women also who trust in God adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. Verse 6, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters you are, as long as you do well and are not afraid with any amazement. Verse 7, likewise ye husbands dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. 8, finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous. 9, not rendering evil for evil, or railing for railing, but contrariwise blessing, now knowing that you are thereunto called, that you should inherit a blessing. Verse 10, for he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil, and his lips that they speak no guile. 9, now, Colossians chapter 3, verse 18. Wives, subject yourself unto your husband as it is fit in the Lord. 19. Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. See? It proves it proves right there the difference and the battle between woman and man. 20. Children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well-pleasing unto the Lord. 21. Fathers, provoke not your children to anger, lest they be discouraged. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. So the feminization of man has contributed to, and you know that's a demon, has contributed to the destruction of the family. Drug use. You think Biden cares about the people that committed suicide, all of the businesses that are closed? Do you think he really cares about the gas prices? Of course not. No leaders ever care for their own people, because like the devil that they are, once they got you, making you believe that your vote count, they got you. The same thing what the devil did with our first mother. The minute she believed his lie, the minute she started a conversation with him, it was over. She was done. All right? So, the devil exploits human weaknesses. And that's exactly what the governments of this earth do. They don't tell the woman, come, abortion is your right, because they love you. They love the ladies. Okay, because that means that you got a bunch of ladies throughout the whole earth walking around with blood in their hands. And the doctors. And one last thing about the theory of evolution. For those that believe in the theory of evolution, ladies and gentlemen, that even if Charles Darwin himself would, if he would have been here, he would totally deny this whole thing, because it has been proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that is a freaking satanic, diabolical lie. But of course, people will call, oh, Charles Darwin is crazy now. He's too old. Let me just tell you a little bit about what the theory of evolution has to do with the destruction of the. I mean, there's a paradigm. There's a paradigm for everything. You see. So, the theory of evolution goes like this. We were created billions of years. All right? But that's a lie. Because, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you mean to tell me, let's say that that evolution is something that we could talk to. You mean the theory of evolution created this wonderful life, the tree, which sustains life, the oxygen, which sustains life, the water, the fruits, the food. You mean to tell me that evolution created all of this, the sun, the rain, all of this, the sea, the rivers, only to make men destroy it? You see? Doesn't make any sense, does it? Of course not. But humanity have chosen to believe the lie because it makes them feel better. Well, Mr. Rubin, that's what I've been taught, that's what I believe, and so be it. Okay. I see you there. When we are all in front of our Creator, when He passes judgment in the day of reckoning. So the theory of evolution is to teach humanity that life is not that special anyway. It's the same thing with with astronomy. We don't count. We're just a little dot in the cosmos, in space. There are much bigger planets. Sad, ladies and gentlemen, when we cannot go out of this place, and the earth is flat, and the moon is a light. It's written in the Bible. It's a light. Light to the lower light to light the morning. I mean the nighttime, and the main light, which is the sun, for the daytime. Ladies and gentlemen, it's unbelievable. We have become so ridiculous. So yes, Mr. Putin, you are part of this game. Because after all, this is the Edomite system. You are all the descendants of Esau. And you have always behaved this way because the demons and you always find ways to justify, right? Well, you fall right into the trap then, because that's how European nations do. They're evil. Instead of calling European, they should have called it the Freemasonry continent. The Masonic continent. They worship the demons like there's not tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. They worship the devil. And they deceive the masses. Like making you believe that Queen Elizabeth is from England, when in reality, she is from Germany. Making you believe that the false Israelites that are in the Holy Land are the real God's chosen people, when in reality, they're lying to you once again. Do you know there are pride parades every year in the Holy Land? Do you understand? And they're big too. The abomination of the Holy Land. And these people in the Holy Land do not even believe in Christ. You should hear some of the things that these demons that practice the Kabbalah say about our Savior and their Savior. That's how ridiculous demons are. I just read to you. The demons' agenda, the demons' goal is to be worship. Okay? It is to be worshipped. So do not be afraid of the things that you're gonna be seeing, ladies and gentlemen. There's gonna be much earthquakes, stronger earthquakes. You're gonna be seeing a lot of tornadoes. You're gonna see a lot of people dying this year. But do not be afraid. These are only the beginning of the birth pains before we are picked out of this place, plucked out of this place, and taken back to the desert like he was in Moses' time. I hope to see you there. May God bless you. And remember, there's more. You have to outsmart this system, which is stupid in all of its aspects. The lost. This is the most stupidest and ridiculous last human generation of all time. Because they have to live according to the satanic agenda that is being carried out. What they call it? The 2030 the 2030 agenda. You got the critical race theory being taught in school, which is evil. So this whole world is upside down, ladies and gentlemen. Come out of her, my people, so that you won't be partakers of her plagues. God bless.